open houses we've had, but certainly this is the third open house, 2012. So welcome, we're very thrilled you're here. This is our award ceremony. We've been able to give out a fair amount of prizes. We have wonderful sponsors. And you know, an award ceremony is to celebrate the talent and the wonderful commitment and passion of our students. So an award ceremony is always a thank you ceremony. So the first group of people I want to thank is absolutely our students. You are just a fantastic group of people.
Are you presenting any artwork for the Visual Arts Open House?
Yes, I am. I will be having 2 drawings and 2 paintings in there.
Yep, I have 2 paintings. I'm doing an animal series right now, so I'm going to make them into an installation. I have a drawing installation I'm hanging.
I should be. I'm hoping to print some stuff before then, but I'm putting in some portraits and some nude studies that I've done for class.
I have 2 pieces in the print show. So I have a book in that show, and I also have a big sculpture, a chimera, that I'm putting into the sculpture area, as well as some carved feathers.
I will be presenting a video, a sound piece that will be installed somewhere in the space. I'm not sure where yet, but I'm kind of open to anywhere. And I will be presenting a performance I'll be presenting an interactive performance.
I'm making work that has to do with Jewish identity, and I'm working with Jewish identity and heavy metal, basically. I'm fusing the 2 together.
Well, simply enough, I am a realist artist, and it was funny, I was just saying I hate the term artist when you're still a student, but let's just say I'm a realist. And really the thing that I've come to realize this year especially is that when you're a realist painter or a drawer or whatever kind of realist discipline, you're always going to have that kind of classical connotation attached to your name. You can't really help it. So the concepts are very easy, kind of traditional. I really try and appeal to the human condition, whether it's a certain feeling or just a certain emotion that I'm trying to carry across. And it's not always clear when you look at my art, but as long as you kind of can engage with it and sort of feel it for yourself, that's when I know that I've made a successful piece.
I'm working with nostalgia and nature and where the place of nature is in like the contemporary world. So themes like that in different ways.
I like to work with the idea of experiencing an artwork. I find that when you go into a gallery, it's really alienating, or you just kind of walk past the work and dismiss it, and it's just, I feel it's like a shame to see people's work just get walked past. So I always aim to make people stop. I don't ever really show them anything that they couldn't see otherwise, but through photography, it gives you the ability to concentrate on one thing that you would probably pass up, like portraits or nudes or dead pigs, whatever. It doesn't matter, I'll show it, I guess. And I work a lot with the body. I just like the body. You never see unaltered people, and to be able to like focus on a face or to focus on a body and just freeze it for that second gives you the ability to just study it, get closer to it, familiarize yourself with it. I don't know. Yeah.
I work a lot with sort of like world issue kind of based work, a lot more like activist based, I guess. Right now I'm dealing a lot with like technology and things of that nature, so like genetic engineering is one of the themes of my main sculpture this year, and last year I worked a lot with like weaponry, so it's like sort of along that theme.
Right now I'm currently interested in sort of playing with the idea of paradigms and taking sort of ideological points of view to extremes where they kind of buckle under the weight of their own rhetoric, and sort of allowing them to destroy themselves in contradiction. Hyperbole and hypocrisy sort of go together very nicely.
Yeah, I had two great art teachers in high school who were both printmaking majors when they did their BFAs, and we had a small Praga printing press at the high school, and I did like little intaglio prints and relief prints and stuff. And then when I came here, I started taking prints with David Scott Armstrong and Barbara Balfour, and yeah, I've been sticking with it ever since.
So is it more so relief or intaglio?
It's mostly etching, intaglio, and lithography.
The one thing that it's taught me, well, you know what? Again, being more into realism and stuff, I was that kid that really didn't know anything, but he thought he knew everything when he came into the program. I was completely against anything not realist, anything not classical, and what York really did, or this program especially, and with the help of a select few profs and contract faculty, it really opened my eyes to a lot of the more contemporary practices, and it really taught me how to apply those practices to my own without taking away from what I view as being good and high art. You know, I am a realist, like I said again, but I am friends with a lot of amazing abstract artists, and just watching them work and watching some of the techniques they use, like even just the application of paint and the mediums, it really kind of helped me loosen up, and I find that the looser I get, the more real my work ends up looking. So, thank you, York.
I've definitely learned how to talk about art and look at art better than I ever knew how to do before, and that's helped me because I can talk about my own work better, which helps me see how to improve it. And I didn't have that before, so that's probably the best thing.
I learned photography in university. I came to school never having done it before because my high school never had a darkroom, and I took photography by chance in first year because I had to take 3 mediums. And I came thinking, oh, I'm going to be a sculptor, I'm going to be like a printmaker. And once I started learning photography, I had Chris Ironside. I love him very much for teaching me, but I just fell in love with it, and that's what I ended up doing. So I'm kind of glad that I did it in that respect, and like it completely altered the way I made art, because photography is just such a different way of thinking, and such different considerations have to be made in regards to how you make an image versus making an object in like sculpture or making a print that's multiples. It's just a completely different way of image making, and it's my favorite, so it stuck.
I definitely would say one thing that I've learned is that you can't really control how the viewer interprets your work. That you sort of like have to be open to letting go of that like one singular message, especially when you work with something like world issues. Like a lot of people are really resistant to being told like, this is what I think you should learn, or this is what you should think. So I've sort of like started working with giving them more of an experience so that they can kind of like unfold that information for themselves. So for example, like the big chimera that I'm making, it's like a Greek mythological creature. So it's sort of as if like the chimera is hunting them, and that's like a synonym for like genetic engineering and genetically modified diseases and the dangers they pose. So sort of like the capacity for art to be more of an experience that the viewer like delves into themselves and like not dictating to them.
Right. In my first year, I took a course called Crossing Boundaries. The name of the teacher is escaping me right now, but she was really. Gita. I think it was her name was Gita Hashemi, and she taught Crossing Boundaries, and she's the first person who kind of asked me, so what, about my work, and I actually paid attention. Like, people asked me that before, but I thought that they were kind of trying to just put me down, but no, I've realized that I can be funny and sort of playful, but at the same time can deal with things that are a little bit more than just what sort of immediately satisfies me. And so, and the payoff to that too is that I'm also being able to appreciate smaller things outside of the art world through that kind of lens, because things kind of express culture and cultural theory without even knowing it, or they do know it and I've just been ignoring it.
Time management, which is something I'm still struggling with. You always have to give yourself like 3 times the amount of time that you think something's going to take. And as far as printmaking goes, I would say find a paper that really that you really like, that speaks to you, because it's all about paper.
I'm applying for this residency through the Toronto School of Art, and it's an 8-month-long residency that I hope to get into because it'll enable me to, or it'll increase my chances to get into a master's program. And I'm pretty much gonna be preparing work for that. The application's next January, so I have quite a bit of time, but I feel like it's gonna run out very quickly.
Next year I am moving downtown. I'm gonna try and find some galleries, start showing my work, and take it from there, wherever the wind blows me.
I'm coming back for a 5th year to do an independent study in photography, so hopefully that goes pretty well. I might do installation art too. I'm not sure. If I can get into the class, I will, but.
Next year I'm actually coming back for an independent study. So I really want to focus in on sort of like the art that I want to make and be able to take that opportunity of having these like great facilities at York to really just be able to make whatever I want to.
My plans for next year is probably to be here. I'm not sure which courses I'm going to take yet, but I hope to develop a larger body of work and continue exploring the concepts and kind of regroup for when I graduate next year.
I'm going to be coming back to York for another year. I want to continue printmaking, so I'm hoping to either join Open Studio or a print studio in Hamilton and eventually apply for my MFA.
So I want to thank you all very much for coming. Once again, thank you so much to all the jury members. Thank you for, especially to our wonderful students.